Creating a butterfly and making it fly in Flash. The first thing we need to do is set up the stage. My stage is set up to 800 by 450 pixels. If you want to follow along with me, set your stage up to that. Now, we need an image to trace over. You can draw one on your own, but I'm going to go to Google Images and get this monarch right here. It's a nice monarch. Copy it, go back to Flash, and paste it in the center. Now blow it up. Get a little larger to work with. And let's center it. So let's center it by going to Windows, Align right here, Horizontal Center, and Vertical Center. Okay. Now we want to make this less bright. So I'm going to go up to Modify, Convert to Symbol. I'm going to call this Butterfly Image. Now that it's a symbol, it has the properties of a symbol. So I can go here where it says Color in my properties and go down to Alpha. Now it's at 20. That's fine. 20 will work. So we'll leave it like that. Now we want to lock that layer. We want to call it Butterfly Image. And lock it. Now we need a layer above that layer. This layer is where we're going to do our work. Okay, right here. Now I want to move in close to this wing over here. So you hit the zoom tool and make it larger and come in right about here. That should work. Okay, that's a little big for me. Let's go down to 250. I'm up here at the size 250. Enter. Okay, I can see all of it. Alright, now I'm going to use the line tool to do this. This is one of my favorite tools. It's a great tool. I want to make the color black though, not blue. Now, let's turn it black. Now, I like to work with this line tool very thin. So, I'm going to go to my properties. And down here you see the stroke height is 1. I'm going to take that down to 0.25. Okay, that makes it a very thin line. Now, you can bring it back up to 2, 3, whatever you want after we're finished modeling. But modeling with this tool, you really need to have it thin. You'll see when we start working. Now, this tool, if you've never used it before, has some pretty nice things about it. So you see right now my selection tool has a box. That little box tells me that the selection tool is active. Now, if I go close to this line, it turns into that little arc. That little arc tells me I can push that up and bend it. Okay? Control Z takes that back. Now, if I go here and I press Alt at the same time that I press up, I get that arc, but I press Alt and push up, I get a point. Okay? Now, that point just separated those into two parts. If I click on this one, you'll see that it's not connected to that. That's its own. Okay? Put it back. Control Z, like I said, puts that back. Now, if you go into the middle here, you'll get that V again, and you can bring this right back down to like it was. Okay? Alright, now, you can do what I'm getting ready to do with the brush tool. Most people use the brush tool for this. So if I go here and I take the brush tool, if you have a Cintiq or a Wacom tablet, then this is really easy to do. I'm doing this with the mouse, so it's not going to be as wonderful as it could be. And you just trace around it with your tablet or your mouse, and that looks good. Okay? Now, I don't want that look. If you want that look, fine. I don't want that. I want to, like if you're doing something like manga or cars or houses or airplanes, this tool is really great for that. So let's start. Let's get started. All right, so right here, I'm going to click and go here. Now I'm going to bend it. They call you a line bender when you use this tool. I have no problem with that title. Now you go from here to here. And that just takes care of this little bump right here. Okay? Now we're going to go from here down to about here. And that takes care of that little bump right there. See how this works? And you're just going to go all the way around. Now if you go to the side, you get that arc again. But if you go to the very tip, you get that point. And that point means you can move it around. I want to put it right there where it belongs. Okay, now I want to just finish it. So I'm going to go right here and over to here. And then all the way to about here. Now let's finish it. Let's go here to here. Now clean this up. Just click on it and delete it. Alright, now get the line tool again. N is the hotkey for that. Now I'm not using the hotkeys here as much because I want you to see where these tools are in your on your toolbar. So let's clean it up back here. I don't like to have things dirty. There's a little piece there. Okay, now we're going to do the inside. It's the same thing. You just do the same thing. Just start here, go up to here. And all I'm doing is following this line that's already there. Okay? And I do this very fast. I'm doing it pretty slow right now because I want you to see what I'm doing. And it's a lot of fun. I have fun doing this. I do a lot of animation, so I'm working on a series, a couple of series for YouTube. Okay, that goes down. Now you just round these off. The one thing about this tool, there's one rule to it. And you see that little point right there, how that goes in? Now you see you get the arc. Now if I go to that point, I get that point. That means I can push that out. Okay? Now, you'll notice something, that I didn't touch this line to this line here. Okay? Now there's a reason for that. Let me show you. Okay, all the lines have to be bent. I said that, but I want to say it again. Look how they look compared to the lines that are not bent. Then you understand. It just turns it into another piece of artwork. Again, you see that little point right there? See, if I go near here, I get the arc. But if I go into that point, I get a point. Now I can pull that down and clean it up. Okay? Now, the reason I don't touch is because I want to bend all the lines. So I can now bend this line. Then I can bring this down to the line. Like that. And then finish it off. Okay? Clean that little point up. I don't like those little points in there. Okay, now, let's say if I didn't do that. If I didn't, let's go back down to straight. Now, if I went like this and pulled this over to here, and then I tried to bend it, it's only going to bend right there. This tip of it's not going to be in there. So we don't want that. That's why I don't touch. I stand away from it. I can now bend it, then move this line into place. Okay? Now let's bend all these other lines. So we got them. Now you can bend them any direction that you think it goes or you want it to go. This is your butterfly. Okay. Now that we have that, there's some pieces up here that still need the line tool. And it's not that critical. You have to get it perfect. It's going to look perfect, but you don't have to get it perfect. Okay. Now again, you want to bend it. Now V is the selection tool. If you want to get it real quick on the hotkey. Okay. All right. Looking good. Now we want to do those little circles. So we're going to go to the brush tool this time. And we're going to go down to, let's take the smallest one. Okay. And then just start to make your little circles. Now, you can make as many of these little circles as you want, or as few as you want. You may not want this many. I'm not trying to follow the dots that are on the butterfly. You could follow them and just go right to it, but I want to do my own thing. So, now the only rule to this is that you close it all the way around. That doesn't look close right there. You have to go around and touch, otherwise it won't fill. Okay? See, that didn't touch right there. Now there's a tool in here that closes lines, close those holes in there, but I don't use it. I close my own. You can use it if you want. It's down in the properties. You'll see it when you go down there. Okay. Another one here. And so, now, let's do the bottom. Now, let's go down here. Same thing. Line tool. Over to about here. About here. Here. And around this corner. This goes like this. And then back up to here. Now, let's clean that up. All lines got to be bent. You don't get that arc, it won't pull it out. And one up here. Now there's some little ripples in the bottom of this wing. I want to put them in there. So you just go like this and like this. You can put as many of these as you want. If you want more than what you see here. Now, you take your selector and just push one in and pull one out. That's all it is. Okay. Now you click on it and delete it. These little lines here that you put in there. Now, if you were using the Cintiq or Wacom tablet, you could just go right around this and be done with it. But it wouldn't have this look. It would have a look. You may want that look. I do sometimes. But I wanted you to learn this tool because you have it, and if you want to use it, you'll know how to use it. Now, I want to do the inside. I do this really quick. This is good for like if you're doing hair too, like if you're doing a lot of hair. You want it to really be fine, like some of those mangas. Now I'm going to put a line right here because I want to change the direction right there. And there. Now just bend all the lines. Okay, now this one I want to push up right here and pull down on this one. I want to bend that first. So let's go bend all these. See, this is a good tool, but I don't think you should only use this tool. You got a lot of tools in your box. This is just one that you need to know how to use also. Okay. That one's not very good, is it? Take it off. If it ain't working, then cut it off. Okay. And do it again. Alright, let's bend these lines. We'll be good to go. Gotta have that arc. Alright, let's clean it up back here. It's getting kind of dirty. Okay, now we need to do those little circles with the brush tool. Dots, circles, whatever they are. And again, like I said, you do them like you want them. There's no way to do this. You can't mess it up. That's no good. Control Z. Good time for you right now. Okay. Now, that should do it. Actually, this one up here isn't done very well. Now, let's go out and see the whole thing. Look at all of it. Alright, that looks good.
to make your characters walk in Flash. With my free walk cycle template. The link is below.